Hi everybody, it's Tiffany Knutson here at Nuts and Bolts again, and I just wanted to tell you how we ended up with that Pandora's box of jewelry by the pound. Now, that's one thing that I wanted to talk about. This was definitely interesting for us. The last time we made a purchase in jewelry, it was by the piece. We were very highly disappointed with the way that the seller of that jewelry had stated its quality, as well as it was just plainly false. Thankfully, we did it through liquidation.com, and liquidation.com did their internal review. It came out very well for us. We got our entire money back. However, we did spend all the time doing the video, doing the unboxing, doing all the pictures and everything else. That was a big downer for us. But like I said, it was kind of a mixed thing because we got our money back, but we didn't get all that time back, and we didn't get a dime for all that time as well. So kind of good and bad together. However, we did go ahead and repurchase jewelry. We purchased this from Simplelots, not that we didn't trust liquidation in any way. It just looked like a safer buy. It was by the pound, which kind of intrigued us because we ended up with so little in the last purchase. And poundage wise, I mean, it costs so much per pound, I guess is what I was saying. This ended up being $5 per pound with a little bit of overhead costs. So when it all got said and done, it was $154.98. And keep in mind, we bought this on 3/23, and it came in 7 days later on 3/29. That's one thing that honestly surprises us, is that during the COVID crisis, where we're having a hard time getting basic supplies, we're able to get our reselling supplies faster, maybe, and a lot of times, or we're just getting very lucky. It could be that. Either way, like I said, this is the second purchase of jewelry, specifically jewelry that we've made, and we're pretty happy with the way it turned out. So I'd like to say already, by the time of the reveal video, we've sold several items. People have been very happy with the quality and the pricing that we've given them on the items. We're very, very pleased with this purchase so far. However, when we try to calculate how much we're going to make, mind you, this is our overhead, this is gross profit. This minuses some things, okay? We minus out our shipping, and the reason why is because different platforms cost you differently, etc. And we try to show you roughly what we expect to get on that purchase. And on this purchase, we're expecting to get $1,017.50. That's all said and done. That's, the original case cost for us after all the shipping and handling and all the fees was $154.98. So when we subtract the $154.98 from the $1,017.50, we end up with $862.52. Now that's our gross profit without any overhead. Now that's the other thing to keep in mind. Things cost money, whether it's the tape that we use to pack stuff up or the electricity in the room. So you need to have some way of paying yourself for all the little expenditures, or else you'll sweep them all under the rug and not really realize that you're spending so much money. So one thing that we like to do for a case of this size is we subtract just $50, an even $50 for overhead. So when we subtract that even $50 for overhead for this case, we end up with $812.52. Now, that $812.52 doesn't pay us a dime for all of our time. It doesn't, it doesn't even cover all the overhead costs usually, but the overhead covers most of it. So, $812.52 sounds like a lot of money, but when you keep in mind that we have spent 35 hours on this purchase, between the video, between the unboxing, the inspecting, all of the posting, all of the measuring, all of that, all together, and taking the items to the shipping, we're expecting on this particular case, it's going to be pretty high. It's going to be 35 hours. But if we take that $812.52 and divide it by the 35 hours that we're expecting to spend working on this, then we can find out exactly how much we made per hour. And keep in mind, this isn't exact. I shouldn't use the word exact because this is in part projected, but we are expecting to make $23.21 per hour on this box of jewelry. Now, that's not one of our best purchases. That's far from one of our worst purchases as well. It's pretty much middle of the road, which kind of brings out the point that if you get good quality product, no matter what it is, and you buy it for the right price, and you make the margins right, and you post it right, and you do everything else, you can generally make money on almost anything out there. You have to be very careful that you don't over purchase, or that you don't get lured into a lot of these traps, because there's a lot of places out there that want to take a new reseller like you, and frankly like me, and take advantage of us and give us like $12 worth of stuff and then say, hey, look, we put in there that you are only getting $12 worth of stuff and you should be happy because you signed our contract. Da, 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 da. And that's the thing. We have to be diligent as resellers, as well as we have to hold our suppliers to some sort of standard, right? Because otherwise we just are selling garbage and we're getting horrible reviews and we don't have a business. And next thing you know, which is another reason why I was very disappointed in the last jewelry purchase that we made, because in the last jewelry purchase, frankly, we would not have been able to make money. We would have barely been able to keep our head above water and maybe regain the money in a matter of months and months and months of hustling the stuff. And that was a lot of money to just shell down and get tied up in a garbage buy. That's the thing. You can't get your money tied up in a garbage buy for 6 months or you're making nothing, right? So thankfully, liquidation.com made it right. And also thankfully, we were able to find another jewelry purchase from Simplelots this time that worked out really well for us. And I wouldn't say that we're quite as shy of jewelry as we were before this video. We're still a little shy. We know it's a lot of work. There's a lot of pieces in a box. Like this particular item. This particular was, 25 pounds at 5 pounds a piece. So that means $125 just in jewelry, and the rest was just overhead and shipping and everything else. And that's the other thing I wanted to point out is okay, so when we bought it from liquidation.com, from the seller on liquidation.com, we ended up paying like $100 plus in shipping for, I would say an eighth, a 16th, the amount of jewelry as we purchased here from Simplelots. And since the way that they chose to break it up, the way that they chose to ship it, it cost us over $100 in shipping for that. And thankfully, we got that back. That was one thing that we were worried about, especially considering seeing how much we paid in the shipping, was, oh, okay, so do we get the price back for the rings, but we don't get the money back for the shipping, and then we're out $100? Or even worse, do we have to pay to ship it back to them and to get it to us, in which case we're out a couple $100 and we get nothing for it. But thankfully it didn't work out that way. We put hours of effort into making sure we got our money back. And part of us felt like we should just spend like 20 minutes and take a couple pictures and be like, look, this is crap, give us our money back. But we were really concerned that wouldn't happen. That's why we spent a lot of time on it. So thank you all for joining us. This has been another very good purchase for Nuts and Bolts. We're just doing really good here amongst the COVID crisis. We hope you're doing good. We hope your family's doing good. We wish you well. We hope you've enjoyed the video, and make sure to stop by and check out all 3 of our shops and all of our social media sites. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. And then if you subscribe and hit the bell, then when I come out with a new video, which is pretty often, at least twice, right now during the COVID crisis, it's twice a week, but pretty often, then you'll get notified right away that Nuts and Bolts has come out with another crazy video, and you can sit there and watch us and watch more of our hijinks. You all have a great night. Thank you for joining us.
Click here or click here. And of course, click here to subscribe.